I'm Kaitlyn Bristowe. Your session is now starting.
Grape Therapy.
Welcome to the Hey everybody, welcome to Grape Therapy. I'm your host, Kaitlyn Bristowe, and today we have the Bachelor, Joey, on the pod. We watched his season unfold Monday night, and now I'm trying to get little teasers out of him, and I think I cracked him a couple times, so you'll have to see it. Judge his facial expressions when I bring up girls' names, because I know Reddit does their thing. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Don't lie to me.
No, I am. I really am. I'm surprised how, I'll be honest, I'm surprised how good I'm doing because this is, I think what I keep saying is it's weird how comfortable it's getting. It's just one of those things that I guess
This is your identity now.
No, heck no. Don't let it become my identity, please. I think I'm just getting used to the TV stuff, getting behind camera. Going into the Bachelorette, like there's so many things that go through your head.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, my name's gonna be out there. I'm gonna be on TV.
Yeah.
I remember getting those like butterflies before night one, and I don't know. I just didn't feel it. Maybe it's because I saw the episode before. Maybe it's because I'm getting used to it. But even going on like Kimmel last night, usually that would just rock me and I'd be like nervous.
Like
but I don't know. I'm getting more comfortable, which feels good, but it's also very weird.
Isn't that funny too? Because I'm like, you've done Bachelorette, so it's like you've been in front of a camera and you made it all the way to the end. So it's like you really got the full experience. And then you were the Bachelor, and you're now just starting to get comfortable.
I know. It
with
takes some
going
time.
through all of that.
It
Jimmy
takes some
Kimmel,
time.
isn't he so fun?
He's awesome. I think the coolest part was like we were able to like have banter. You know, sometimes you do some of these things and you're a little bit more buttoned up. You're trying to make sure you just say the right answers, but at the same time, I think it was just fun. And everything's been great so far, but that was also one of those pinch me moments when you're standing in there. Like I met Kate Hudson before. I was like,
shut up.
Oh, so
I'm obsessed with her.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I say it every time. Favorite rom-com.
Yeah.
I met Andy Anderson. I was the luckiest guy
Who's
ever.
that?
That's from the How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. That's
Oh
her
my God.
character.
I literally just watched that on a plane like
Come on.
6 months ago.
Yeah, no, that's her character.
Oh, that's her name?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think. I'm not wrong, right?
Can we edit that and make me look like I knew what that was?
Let's let that be known. She did not know. She said it's one of her movies. Doesn't even know.
No, I said I was obsessed
Andy
with Kate
Anderson,
Hudson.
and that's the character.
Okay,
that's her.
good to know.
And then Benjamin Barry's Matthew McConaughey. You gotta know.
You love
these
a rom-com?
things. I'm a big rom-com guy.
What?
It all started when I was a kid because when we would go to the movies, I have two sisters, and that was a big thing when my dad came to visit. Was we would go watch movies together, and what happened was, I used to fight them. It would be like they wanted to pick the rom-com, like, no, Transformers. And I'd lose every time when the vote would happen. And by the end, it was like 3 were voting for the rom-com. I just became a big rom-com guy with the sisters.
That is my dad. My dad had, I swear my dad will never admit this, but my dad wanted boys. I know it. And he got 2 girls. And then he is like one of the girls. Like he literally watched, he watched Magic Mike with me and he goes, I just think I can always find like something to take away from these movies. Like he loves it.
Yeah, no, you're around it enough. It happens.
So you're getting used to all the craziness and the whirlwind. And what about the attention?
It's weird.
Yeah.
I keep saying I haven't felt it fully yet. I'm a normal stature, normal looking dude walking around. Like I don't think I get noticed as much as people think I do.
Really?
I mean, I usually like wearing a ball cap and like some glasses where I can, and that's just like my usual.
Yeah.
I don't dress up that much when I'm in my own kind of, I guess, territory and doing things. But I just haven't felt it a ton. The online stuff, I pay attention to as much as I can, but at the same time, I want to be involved. I want to be able to like know what's going on.
It scares me for you.
Yeah, but you know, if you can't beat them, join them. I'm a part of it at this point, so I'm just kind of following along, and it's part of this whole process.
I totally leaned in, but then like now, 8 years later, I'm like, that hurt my feelings. Like I got softer over the years.
That's understandable. We had like a saying when we were on The Bachelorette with all the guys, and it's something I've held on to, and it's ignore the hate and ignore the love even more. So it's just like one of those things that like when you're paying attention to it all, you came into this as you were, and just to try to remember that, you know?
I love that.
It's like not to let it get to your head,
yes.
and don't try to have it also be the hate kind of get under your skin. So I know who
like
I
that.
am. I was confident coming in, and I'm gonna let whatever, like I want to know what people's opinions are. I want to know what the views are, but at the same time,
you're like open to the constructive criticism.
Yeah. I grew through this process. I will continue to grow after. So any
you in
type
therapy?
of thing. Yeah.
Thank God. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed in your season is the like younger women now coming in. I was so over the 25-year-olds like a few seasons ago, and now I feel like it's like this like almost like a breath of fresh air with these new women coming in who they're like spiritual.
Yeah.
And like the way they were speaking, I was like, wait, that's me. I felt like they were fully leaning into like astrology and
For sure.
like their spirituality. And I thought I was going to be annoyed again at women in their 20s, and I wasn't.
No.
I loved them.
The girls this season are amazing. They have beautiful stories. They've all been through a lot in their life. They're vulnerable. They share. It's like, I think that's going to be one of the running things this season is just getting to learn about these women. They have amazing stories.
Yeah, I feel like I went in thinking I was going to be like, here we go again. And I actually came out of it feeling like not annoyed. Like I was
That's
like,
good.
I like
We'll take
these
not
women.
annoyed.
Yeah,
We'll
I
take
really
it.
like them. Also, did you feel like, what was the timing between Charity and filming for your season?
I don't know the exact time. I remember I came back to Hawaii sometime in May, and I got a good like 2.5 months of just back to my normal life, which was so big for me, just to kind of get back to feeling like me. And then I started filming and moved back to my sister's place back in like early August. It was around that time. So whatever that math is, that was about my timeline.
Okay. Because the thing that I think people find interesting is how fast people heal from these heartbreaks.
Yeah.
Because like in real life, it took me 5 years to get over a heartbreak one time. Like 5 actual years for me to fully be like, I think I'm getting over it now. And in this world, it's like
different.
it is different because everything's such a whirlwind, and then you're so immersed in this love story, and then once you're removed from it, you kind of have so much a different perspective and clarity around like, okay, was I actually in love, or was it just like the situation? But does that scare you moving forward if you pick someone? I don't know. I watch spoiler free. I hate spoilers. If you pick someone, does it make you nervous that it's been like you've been put on this pedestal where you're like God's gift to these women, and it's like, do you feel scared or nervous at all about coming back down to like your humble reality and being like, I'm living on my sister's couch, do you still love me?
Let's set it straight. I'm not on the couch. I've got a guest room. It's now Joey's room, so you know it's not completely eligible, but it's okay. It's
I'm trying to Jimmy Kimmel you and banter with you.
I know.
Okay?
I like it.
Let me have it.
No, I think that it is something that you'll see throughout the season. Like I do have moments where I struggle. Did they fall in love with Joey, the Bachelor? Right?
Oh, okay.
Like I talk about it.
Yeah.
I want to always remember that it was me coming in, and this is just a role that I'm in. And I haven't worried about it after. I can't say anything if I'm obviously with someone. But I think that it was really something you'll see throughout the season.
I do think some people get really caught up in what you should be doing, what you should be looking like. And social media is such a, obviously, like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's an illusion. And the real life actually is exciting. You know, it's the downtime, the sweatpants, the like
learning
normalcy,
the small
and
things.
the small things. It really is.
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
I think one of the beautiful parts of the show is you find out a lot about someone at their core. You get put in a tough situation. You really learn about them. But small things take time. And I think that's some of the most exciting things about a relationship. And that's something that you can obviously look forward to if you end up with someone at the end of the show.
What is your relationship with social media?
I've had a lot of back and forth. I was a kid in like high school that thought I was so cool that I got rid of my iPhone and got back to like a flip phone because I was so sick of my screen time. And I was like, I'm so cool that I have a flip phone. I'm a junior. I don't even have an iPhone anymore. But then, you know, I've had moments where I have really tried to post, share things about my life. I lived in a cool spot in Hawaii, but I was also the guy that after college, like I took a ton of people off of my Instagram, like that were following me because I realized there was a lot of people I didn't know. And I'm now living a different life in Hawaii that I want to share with people I actually know. And now it's part of this world. So it's one of the things you lean into, but it is a little bit weird sometimes.
Still to this day, I'm like, wow, people really care. Like they really care, and they see you as one-dimensional on Instagram and on Bachelor, and there's obviously so much more to you than, you know, you showing up as the Bachelor or you on social media. And I always want people to remember that, because I'm like, the amount that people think, I mean, they feel very entitled to your life, and they will feel very entitled to your relationships, especially if you pick somebody. It'll be very interesting. But I like to know people's relationship with social media because it can be such a toxic, like, drug almost. and I feel like you have a good perspective on it right now, and I hope you keep that.
Yeah, I just keep always saying, like, I'm learning with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that I know if I dive too deep into it, it can affect me.
Yeah.
If I ignore it completely, it's not realistic.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things I'm trying to understand, and it is a part of this world.
Yeah.
Whether you're in this or not, social media has an effect on all of our lives.
Yeah.
So I'm learning how to use it correctly to make it still, I want to still feel like I'm myself. So however I can do that, I'm going to keep focusing on that.
Okay, I really love that. I am rooting for you in that because, God, people lose themselves.
Yeah.
Are you still 28 or are you 29 now?
I'm 28.
You're 28.
Yeah, May 24th, so a little bit later this
We're
year.
both Geminis. I
Yeah,
found that
let's go,
out through
Geminis.
through the episode last night, which is so funny because Geminis really
Bad rap?
Yes, but Geminis love other Geminis.
Correct.
Like my girlfriends, like guy friends, everyone that I really like vibe with are Geminis.
Yep.
And we do get a bad rep.
We do, but you know, as I said, it's funny how much I understand a little bit about the astrology world. It's really big in Hawaii. Like I've met a lot of people who like talk about it a ton. I'm not as educated as I should be in that sense, but I do know how Geminis get a bad rep, and I've had that way too many times where I say I'm one, and like a girl gives me a look. I'm like, oh God, apparently that's not a good thing. So
I know they're like, you cheating liar, piece of shit.
Yeah, they go to the negative. So
I know.
I will admit I have two personalities, but a lot of times I think it's good. It's just different versions of myself that you will see.
I literally can be so sensitive and soft, and then I can be like so spicy and rough around the edges. Like,
I think it's good.
Are you so excited for your frontal cortex to develop next year?
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Do you know this?
I hear it's a thing, but like I said,
men at 29 get so much better.
That's great.
Yeah, like
I'll
I
take
love that you're 28. You're already doing therapy. You have a very good like lens on certain things, and then your cortex is about to develop, and you're about to level the up at 29.
Let's do it. That sounds great.
May 24th.
May 24th, right? That's a pretty good
calendar.
time. Yeah, put it in there. Let's see what happens on that day.
Oh my gosh,
Level
I'm so
up.
excited. Can you please come back on in a year? No,
Okay.
wait, not in a year. When you're 6 months into your 29.
End of this year, we'll check back in and we'll see where we're at.
Yes.
Sometime in November, we'll try to
Can you
make
journal
that happen.
for me if you don't mind?
Yeah, so that was one thing I did really well on The Bachelor, and I know I have fallen off. I won't lie about that. It is something that was so huge for me, and I truthfully didn't have as much time as I hoped as The Bachelor to be able to journal, but I need to get back to that because I've noticed that sometimes I get in my head, and it's a good way to kind of clear my thoughts, I think.
Yeah, I read mine every once in a while from when I was Bachelorette, and it's so funny.
Yes.
It's like I want to do dramatic readings of it on my podcast or something because it is. I was so confident. I was like, who is that bitch? I was like, and then you could just see it slowly getting shit towards the end. I'd be like, I hate it here. Somebody get me out of here.
Yeah.
Wait,
it's
not
interesting to
the
look back
Billie
on those.
Eilish dramatic music playing at the beginning. I actually got full chills, and I was like, at first I was like, this is so cheesy, and then I was like, I'm in. I'm hooked.
Yeah,
It was
I loved
so
it.
good.
I loved having that little added thing. When
It
I
was
heard the music,
cool.
I was like, okay, I can get behind this. This sounds good.
Like I felt drawn in because Billie Eilish does that to me.
Yes.
She makes me feel, and
Of
my
course.
soul was like, I need to watch this whole season.
I love it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Anytime
intro.
you add music to something, music just makes the world better.
That's
so when
true.
you can add that,
That's
and I
true.
know they haven't done a lot of songs on the show, and I love that they're starting to do that. I think it's great.
Well, because I was like, is it a copyright thing? Because they played Billie Eilish, but then they bleeped out the Canada flag. What the hell?
I can't speak to that. I know that was something I saw online, and I knew that would make you a little upset. That was
like,
not.
"What?"
I can't speak to that. I don't know what that was. I was laughing because I was watching that episode too. If you look in the background of Maria's doing her hometown, you can kind of see a Canada flag in the background, but that wasn't blurred. So I was like, oh, I guess the flag on her has to.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you guys know? No, okay.
Did look at that smile.
I'm so curious.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm going to ask my immigration lawyer, Alan.
Figure it out.
So you grew up in Philly, but you're a Green Bay Packers fan.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
So I was born in Florida, but majority of my life I lived in Philly from like second grade through college.
Okay.
My mom's side of the family is from Wisconsin area.
Ah.
And as I always say, that's
Got
all
it.
they have. They only have football and cheese.
Yeah.
So that's
My producer's from there. She's probably nodding her head.
Yep,
And
go
they're proud
Pack,
of
go,
it.
baby. Let's go.
Yeah, they're huge fans of it.
Yeah, it was. If my mom has instilled anything in me, it's for the love of the Packers. I mean, it's like the only
Amazing.
team it kills me when they lose. So
Yeah.
still hurting from this past weekend, but
I'm sorry.
good season overall.
I'm sorry
so.
for that. I went to a Packers game January I think it was second.
How cool is Lambeau Field?
It was so sick.
Yeah.
I like the whole experience. It was like -12. My beer was freezing.
Yep.
I had a hot dog. Everything was bundled up on me except for my eyeballs, and like sitting on the foam so that your butt doesn't freeze because it's the old school bleachers.
It's crazy. They hand
so
out those
cool.
clip-on chairs because people don't want to sit. I think when I went, I was wearing like 3 jeans. I wear a 32 and I bought up to like a 36. I put on a 32, a
Hilarious.
34, and a 36 because it was like -20, and I was like, this is terrible. But
It's nuts.
also so fun at the same time.
It's kind of part of the experience. Like
Yeah.
you have to. You're not a true fan unless you've done it like that.
Yeah.
The Wisconsin people just get it.
And it's always funny when you're like complaining about the cold. There's this dude next to you chugging beer shirtless. Is always like wow, I'm soft. Like I felt that immediately.
You know
I
what's
was
so funny?
like, dang.
Jason Kelsey, like shirtless,
Yeah.
chugging beer. I'm like, if I did that, people would be like, this girl is such a hot mess. Like, what an alcoholic, raging slob. And then Jason Kelsey does it, and everyone's like, yeah, what a beauty. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to do that.
I know. It's unfair. I'm sorry.
It is unfair.
I'm sorry for that.
Did you like all the cheesy entrances? Was it like funny, or were you like, okay?
I
Be
think
honest.
I'm being honest. I'll have a back and forth. There were definitely some entrances
Yeah.
that when I saw, I was like,
Yeah.
not for me. But
Yeah.
what I always said, which I appreciated, and we talked a lot about on our season, was how like I couldn't do that. Like my way, what I did on charity season with the flower, with just like trying to be
Right.
just me, like
Yeah.
calm, comfortable, trying to be a little chill.
Yeah.
That was up my alley. But like these girls went all out, and I was impressed. I was surprised how much I actually did like some of the cheesy stuff. I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? This shows your personality. You're having fun with
Yeah.
it. And I tried not to be too critical because I remember how scary it was getting out of that limo.
Yeah.
I
it's
blacked
terrifying.
out. So like the fact that they did anything like that, I do give them props. But
If I could go back and do it again, I would ghost ride the limo. I would like get on top and like
No
surf
way.
all the. Yeah, that's what I would do. I dream about this. I want to
Okay.
go back and do it again so bad.
let's make it happen.
But like
That
as a
sounds
joke.
Awesome.
But as a joke.
Yeah, of course. That would be funny if they did something where they had everyone come back and redo limo entrances. Like just did that. Like trying to have people, everyone that
should
like
do
did
that.
well on the show just had a redo, and they thought of something that like they had more time. Because I'm sure you're not the only person who thought they would change it up and do something different.
I would definitely take it. Like people are like, don't have any regrets. I do kind of regret that.
Yeah.
Do you have any regrets from your season from filming? Because I made so many mistakes as the Bachelorette. I messed up so many times, and people a lot of times are like, well, that creates the right outcome. Like everything happens for a
Correct.
reason. But I definitely messed up. Did you feel like you messed up at any point in the season?
You know, I actually still stand on that I don't, because I go off of how I felt after every rose ceremony,
Yeah.
right? I think that's a really big thing, and
Yeah.
I never had that moment where I was like, I regretted this or regretted that.
Right.
And like you said, it's a butterfly effect. Whatever you do, it affects the whole process. So I
Yes.
don't look back on
That's
anything
true.
with any regret.
I know you can. Okay, you can't say anything. The beginning
Ask away.
made it,
I know what I can or can't say. Ask away.
The beginning obviously makes it look like you are just like up and like just is it up in arms? I don't feel like that's the
I'm
right.
emotional.
You're emotional.
Yeah.
You're emotional. It looks like the one rose is just like they focus on that. Like, do you even give it away? What can you tease about the ending?
Yeah.
Will people see it coming? Is it a shocker? Is it?
It was a shocker to me. I was emotional.
Okay.
I think the big thing is I have not been a huge avid watcher of the show.
Yeah.
This is all very new to me, but from what I'm told, the ending is something that hasn't happened before.
No
So
way.
I mean, I know they say that every time, but
They
like
do.
this is actually, from what I'm told, that is the case. So I think that's the best
Really?
tease I can give.
Okay.
I was obviously emotional.
Yeah.
The reason why, the whole background of it, yeah, you're gonna have to wait to that last episode
Ooh,
to see.
shit. That's good.
Yeah. I like that. I can see she likes it. That's
I
good.
am so
I know.
in. Every season I go, I don't know if I'm going to watch, because sometimes it actually, I think PTSD like brings up something I don't even realize it brings out of me. But I feel really excited about your season.
I think that I said it earlier, and I'll say it every single time through this. I think the girls are going to carry a lot of it. They are so vulnerable, so honest. They share
Yeah.
really beautiful stories. I think that's going to be a big part.
Yeah.
It was a great.
Well, here's the thing.
time.
You have
I
to
think
follow
people like
Gary.
it. Yeah,
That is,
that's hard.
those are some big ass shoes to fill. Gary was like Mr. Rogers, and
Yeah.
like he's just like all the women were so incredible that now you're like fresh after that. So people are kind of going to compare it and want to see more from these women. So I'm excited that you say they carry the show.
Yeah.
Do you
they
think
did
it's
great.
going to be as dramatic as other seasons, or more?
I think-
Obviously, there's drama.
Yeah, there's always drama,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if
Not you picked. Oh, you picked both sisters, didn't you?
Yeah,
Oh,
first
okay.
night.
Okay. Sorry, I
They got
interrupted.
there.
I got excited.
No,
Okay.
you're good. Yeah, the sisters added drama.
Yeah.
You can always see some of the dynamics of some of the girls starting off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as everyone knows, you put enough women in Bachelor Mansion, there's going to be drama.
Yeah,
so
of course.
I
That
think
much
how
estrogen?
it, what's also so interesting when I watch it back is I always forget that I don't see a lot of this,
Yeah, you don't
right?
see a lot.
So that's the one part that people
I was
don't
wondering that.
realize is that you don't see a lot in my position. A lot of the things that go on behind closed doors, all the dynamics in the house,
Yeah.
like seeing some of those interviews, like
You're
I
like,
had no
"Oh."
idea the sisters had that much an issue on night one because they were so chill around me. They seemed so happy
Yeah.
about it. So that's so funny to be able to watch back and see what all of that's
Because
like
people
too.
yell at you from the couch, being like, "How did you not see this?" Or like, "How do you not know that to send
Right,
her home?" And you're like,
right.
"I actually don't see
You
it
don't.
until you watch it back, and then you go, oh shit." Like, I always think about like, what if you picked a girl and then night one you watch back and you're like, "Oh my god, you were the worst."
I'm not going to say that, but I can tell you that is definitely part of it that people forget, that you don't get to see so much. What
Yeah.
you see on TV when I'm talking to the girls, that is all it is.
Speaking of Gary, who do you think was more drunk at that wedding, me or you?
I'm not answering that question, but I think we both did our best. It was a good time. That wedding was
so
a
much
lot
fun.
of fun. That was so cool to meet all the people that,
Yeah.
like, I've been able to connect with them on social media,
Yeah.
but like Dean, Ben,
Yeah.
Wells, all
Isn't
of
Ben a
their-
hoot?
He's just a good time.
He's a good time.
Yeah, I
That
every time
wedding
I've
was-
spent time with him, it's just been fun.
You know that she walked me home that night?
I think they both might have done that for both of us.
Oh. We were the party that night.
Yeah.
We went for it.
Again, I don't want to speak to that. I think pictures said enough. That was a good time.
Did they? Yeah. Oh, I saw that you were on Chicks in the Office, and they were like, "How drunk
Dean,
were you?"
Yeah, Dean said something about that. He said,
Oh, he
I
did?
think Kaitlyn asked Dean who had the most fun, and his answer was both me and him had the most fun. So
Oh, that's
that was
so-
just a good time.
It really was.
Yeah.
The open bar was a big mistake. That was, I mean, no, it was actually not a mistake. It was so much fun. But we all got so sick after it, and everyone's like, "You're at a super spreader." I'm like, I've been on an airplane every week.
Right.
There's more people on an airplane than there were at that wedding.
I know.
So an airplane is also a
Everyone
super
just came
spreader.
from all over. There was sickness going around.
Oh my God, there was like 10 of us that got the flu.
I know.
I want to know who started that. Who brought the flu? Who was like, "I need screen time, so I am going to go there with the flu."
I have no idea. We'll see.
How many women did you kiss night one? Is there a record?
I don't know. There's probably, I think Bachelor Data probably
7.
keeps that stuff. I think it was 7 though on night one.
I'm trying to remember. I think I kissed 4 and people thought I was the devil.
They're a little bit nicer about it nowadays from what I see.
Yeah.
I've said the same
Well,
thing.
and you're a man.
Yeah, I think it's also just like you need to be able to. It's important to figure out if you have chemistry and how that goes. I'm a vibe guy. I go off of how it goes, and one thing led to another on night one, I guess.
I think you have to. I think you have to just like, if you're feeling like you're picking somebody to be your wife.
Right.
Why would you not kiss all of them? Like, I want somebody to do that. Night one, just be like, line them up and be like, "I need to make out with each one of you."
I don't think that would go over well, but you could try it. I don't think that's a strategy.
This is why I don't make television, okay? Because that would be my idea. I'd be like, you have to make out with everybody and then send the bad kissers home.
That's aggressive because then they would know.
We're all of the, yeah, that's good. We like honesty.
Okay.
Was there any bad kisses night one, or were they all good?
Nah, I can't answer that one either. Come on. No, no.
Oh, you are so media trained and a nice man. Damn it.
I would never do that to someone
Okay,
else.
that's
You don't
fair.
want to have that
That's
be
fair.
said.
That's really
You wouldn't
fair.
want to hear that about yourself.
I actually would. I would like to know if I'm a bad
Yeah,
kisser because I would
behind
need to
closed
change
doors,
some
not on a
things.
podcast.
Okay, well, when the cameras are off, I'm asking you the real questions. So what was your feeling in the rose ceremony sending people home? I remember that being one of the worst
So tough.
things is the first rose ceremony because you're like, you didn't even get a chance and I have to send you home.
They're all tough. That
Yeah.
feeling, I know it's harder as a contestant because you come and you're like so nervous.
Yeah.
But that feeling on night one to know that you didn't talk to some of them, and there's
know.
not much you could do.
I know.
I wish I could. 32 women's a lot of women. I tried to talk
was
to
a
as
record,
many
right?
as I possibly could. I think it was. So, yeah,
I remember
it's
Chris Soules when I was on that season. I think there was 30 women and that was
a lot of
a
people.
lot.
Yeah.
That's a
so
lot.
it sucks on night one. No one. I
Yeah.
mean, they were all amazing. It wasn't like there was someone that did anything wrong per se. It's just you got to go with your gut and just move forward through it.
Did I hear Lauren whisper "go f herself" to Allison after she got?
100%. I did not hear that on night one from my angle, but that 100% happened.
That is so funny.
Amazing. So Philly, and I love it.
So Philly.
I love it.
So do you get shit from like Philadelphia fans being like, why are you not an Eagles fan?
1000%.
Yeah, I feel like Philly people are like very much like harsh. Like
it's the first thing that someone says when you're from Philly. You hear like, "Go Birds," and I'm like, "Yeah, I love the Eagles, but still go Pack Go."
Wow.
So I know, but I always root for the Eagles. The only time I don't root for them is when they play the Packers. Like I did grow up in that area.
Yeah.
All the other Philly sports teams are my top teams.
Yeah.
It's just the Packers are like it's in my blood.
Okay. Can I give my prediction for top 3?
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Have you practiced your like face?
I don't think I'm good at that, so I'm just gonna.
I know. We noticed that.
I'm gonna drink my my mug, and you just go ahead and give me your top 3.
Well, I noticed that. I was like, did you know you had facial expressions, or did you watch back and be like, oh, I don't hide anything?
I'm so nervous to watch this entire season with my facial expressions. I realized very quickly how much I can't really. I'm not good at holding that in.
That's funny. Okay, so I really liked Daisy. She's very sweet. I feel like she's the most wholesome little, grows up on a Christmas farm, tree farm.
Yep.
Like she's like a Hallmark movie. I'm obsessed. Okay, I liked Lexi. So Leia, I love how she handled the card because her soft little sensitive soul, she like really took it seriously. I would have been like, yeah,
right.
Woo! One of you bitches, and I would have used it right away because later would be rude. But she like threw it in the fire, and it was so funny. Okay, so I really like her because that card given to the wrong person could have.
Yeah.
Because that would have pissed me off if I was the Bachelorette and some guy who sucked. Not saying she sucked. I mean, like, what if somebody that sucked got it?
Yeah.
They got to take away time that I actually wanted to spend with somebody. I would be so mad.
That card scared me. I didn't know what she was going to do with it, but I knew in that moment all I could do is try to comfort her because I saw how much it was affecting her.
Yeah, bless her sweet little soul.
I felt so bad, but like, yeah, that was a scary card.
How would you have handled that if you got that card on charity season?
I have no idea. I say the same thing. I hope I would handle it with as much grace as she did, but that's scary because you want to use it, but then you also know that like you're gonna have a target on your back if you do. And that was all I tried to do in The Bachelorette was try to stay in good graces with all the guys because I just didn't want to get into all that drama.
How do you feel about if women are like, I'm actually not here to make friends, I'm here for Joey? Do you take that as a compliment or is that a bit of a red flag for you?
I think I take it as a compliment because they're obviously there for me.
Yeah.
I think that I'm a big person that tries to pay attention of how you treat other people though.
Totally.
So I think there's a way to do that.
Yeah.
You might see that throughout the season. So we'll see how that goes.
What is a major red flag for you that if somebody has that or did have it on your season, you're like, they got to go now?
Again, it's pretty much what I said when someone seems very inconsiderate. I just need someone that can think about others because if they don't, I think about others too much. And if I'm with someone like that, then my head's just going to be spinning the entire time.
Yeah, fair enough. So you've gotten through filming. Show's now airing. I don't know what's harder thinking back if filming or rewatching.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what was harder, both hard. People are speculating and you obviously know the outcome, but how hard is it going to be for you to hide it, to keep it a secret? Or have you told like your mom and that's it, or your dad? Or
I've told a close group of family members, and I think that's really about it. A few friends, but not much.
Yeah.
I think I want people to watch it with everyone else. Like I want people to find out on their own what the outcome is because I think that's the whole purpose of it. But yeah, it's hard. I'm not gonna lie. To put your life on pause like this and hold everything in is never easy.
No. What do you think the hardest part of filming was for you?
It's a good question. What was the hardest part?
There's probably like a million, but if you think back on it.
The surprising one that you find out pretty early is it just is nonstop. Like when you're on the show as a cast member, you have days off. Yeah. You're not on every day.
Yeah, so true.
It was probably about like a week or two into LA. I was like, it's every day.
Every day, all day.
And I'm like, whoa, okay. This is going to be tough because I know how I am. I'm going to want to bring it every single day because each girl deserves that. Mm-hmm. And to do that throughout this whole process, I don't think people realize how taxing that actually can be.
You're telling me that was harder than sending home the second runner-up?
I can't talk about any of that. Come on. I can't say what that was. We're going to have to wait and see.
Do you think there's a clear, obvious Bachelorette for next season? Like, are we going to be, like, rooting for someone so hard?
I think there's a chance of it because I know usually people, like, kind of rally behind someone. Yeah. But I'll stand on the fact that there's a lot of amazing women that throughout the season. So I think there's going to be a lot of favorites.
I'm hoping she's Canadian. It's been a minute. There was Jillian Harris. And then there's me. And we need another Canadian Bachelorette.
Well, you got a couple this season, so you got a couple to root for.
And we need a Canadian little sassy pants. I love Canadians so much. You're pretty fresh out of this experience. What advice would you give to the next lead if you had to?
Try your best to have fun with it. Try. It is so hard sometimes with how serious it all feels. With there's how I am as a person. I really try to have fun with it, but it can be hard. So that would be my big advice to someone.
Okay, I like that. What are you most nervous to watch back when it airs? Fantasy Suites? Give us a tease about the Fantasy Suites.
You know I can't talk about
Yes, you can tease it. You can tease it.
I think that's always a tough one to watch because it's where things get really serious, right?
Yes.
So that's going to be probably tough to watch. Let me think. I can think of a really good thing to talk about that's going to be tough. I think the ending, like all of the ending is, I think I remember back too, because doing it for the Bachelorette, like it's a different experience because you watch it at the AFR stuff too, and there's so many other elements that happen with that. So that's always the most nerve-wracking. Yeah. That was the first time in a while that I've gotten that kind of like boom, 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 boom in your stomach because you're walking out, you're about to have everyone else have an opinion, you have to talk to a person. Like, that's going to be tough.
Yes, and it's live.
Yeah, and it's all live.
Okay, I have a little game that I play at the end of my episodes, and it's called How Do You Proceed? So I'm going to give you a really uncomfortable situation.
Sounds great.
And you have to tell me how you would proceed, okay?
Oh, this sounds awesome. Let's do it.
Okay, night one. She confesses her love to you and is very serious about it. She's like, well, they kind of did.
Yeah, some of them might
Some of them were like, I'm a yes person, and I will say yes to you.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. During Hometowns, you find out their sister is Pink, the singer.
Whoa.
Yeah, how do you proceed?
I try not to, like, fangirl on Pink, probably.
Who's your celebrity crush? A woman?
Dua Lipa.
Okay, Dua Lipa is their sister. How do you proceed?
I would hope I would have found out before Hometowns because I should be asking questions, but they held it. You're saying they held it close to their vest.
Yeah, they were like, I don't want to tell him. I know that's a celebrity crush.
I proceed by acting like I don't know who she is.
Great.
I introduce myself. I ask what she does for her job. I try to play it cool. I try to act like I don't even know who she is because the last thing I should do is try to freak out that Dua Lipa's in the room with a girl that I'm hopefully getting to know better and maybe even moving forward with.
That's good. Okay. I accept that answer.
That's my answer, but I don't think I would actually do that.
You're like, I actually would start sweating
in the
and
room,
ask her
if
she wants to make up. Okay, one of the ladies admits she's only here for the Instagram followers, but she is open to falling in love.
Yeah, if she says anything about Instagram, that's a big red flag. I think I would have to probably start to tread lightly and probably work my way out of that relationship.
Yeah, because it's so hard because it's inevitable that they're going to get Instagram followers and that obviously women are going into this knowing that now.
It's a conversation, right? I wasn't afraid of talking about it with the women. It's just if it seems like it's a running point for you, it's like, what are we doing here? I'm here to find my person. So that would be an immediate red flag.
Okay. One of them is someone you met through a dating app a while back.
Oh boy.
And you had a bad experience with, but you actually have been thinking about her.
That's juicy. I would immediately talk to one of the producers being like, how the hell did you find this girl? That would probably be the first thing I would do. And then I'm a big second chance guy.
Are you?
I would definitely try to, if I felt like it was at least something that it wasn't a total deal breaker, I'd be open to talking to her again.
Have you been on dating apps before?
I lasted a week on Hinge. 1 week.
Did you get dates out of it, or were you just like, I'm out?
There was like 1 or 2 dates, but for me, it was, I can't do that stuff. I'm such a natural meeting person type of thing. I like knowing, I like having more natural interactions. The apps are just weird. I don't even know what to say after like 3 texts. It's just, it's
the apps are weird. I feel like I wouldn't enjoy, I like the idea of it because I was like, ooh, fun. Like,
put yourself out there to a bigger audience. I get it.
Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of people are on there for the wrong reasons.
I think you have a big enough audience, though.
Yeah.
And 32 women to choose from. One of them admits that she really wanted the lead to be someone else from Charity's season.
Nice.
But willing to give you a try.
That's a bold thing to say to someone.
I love honesty, though. Like,
I
when
know.
People, like, if somebody told me they were there for Instagram followers, but they were open to, I'd be like, you're a douche, but I like your honesty.
I think that one I would have to at least see if there was something that was worth it because I do appreciate the honesty side. So I would be like, that's a very bold call, but let's see what happens. And if that was early on, I think I can move through it. If that was like 3 or 4 weeks in and they finally admitted that, then I'd be like, okay, maybe this isn't right.
Right. Okay. Now, last but not least, describe your perfect woman.
Describe my perfect
Like, what is your
woman.
type? Like, when you went in as the Bachelor,
Yeah.
everybody has negotiables, non-negotiables, things they like about a person. What was your list of, like, I'm looking for this?
I've said this a lot too, but I will say it every time. I need someone kind, someone
Yes.
compassionate, thinking about others. I really wanted a family-oriented person,
Yeah.
someone that cares deeply about their family, regardless of what their situation is, just has a connection with them.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely wanted someone that liked to have fun. That's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I don't like that I sometimes get a little bit too chill and kind of laid back.
Yeah.
I need someone to pull me out of my comfort zone and just like kind of pull out my goofy side a little bit more
Yeah.
because I need someone to do that for me.
Yeah, I get that.
But in terms of like actual characteristics or traits, there wasn't really anything.
Yeah.
Like I've dated a lot of different types of women.
Yeah.
I think that I've learned pretty much as I gotten older, it's so much more important to find someone with a connection because intimacy, attraction, all of that physical connection can build over time, especially if you feel like they're bringing something out of you. So that's really
Yeah.
what I tried to focus on.
I think that's the coolest part about watching the show is at first someone might not stand out to you
Right.
and be like, you know, this like, whoa. And then as you watch, and it could be for you too, like as you go on through the season, you're like, wait, this person surprised me and now I'm falling in love. Like, and I like those stories.
We always
because
call it the slow burn. There's
slow burn.
There's always slow burns.
the silent thunder is what I like to call
I
them.
like that,
Yeah,
silent
they like
thunder.
slowly, and then by the end you're like, where did this person come from? I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's part of it. It's part of the experience.
I know I said last but not least, but I forgot that every single podcast I get somebody to confess something to me. Did they prep you for this? Did anyone prep
No one prepped me for this.
Oh,
shit.
it was in the schedule.
It was in the notes.
It was in the notes. Okay.
She catches me every week about this stuff about notes.
I don't even check my email. So every podcast somebody gives me a confession. Like, is there something in your life that's happened where you're like, that is the most embarrassing thing
Let me
that's ever
think of
happened?
a good
I've had a
one.
lot of people tell me they shit their pants.
Wow. Oh, I got one.
Okay, great.
Shit. I hate that shit in my pants lit me up.
Yes,
My
yes.
boys from home will love this, and
Okay.
I'm really afraid to admit this right
I
now
know.
if I'm telling you the
Makes me
truth.
very happy.
It's not anything bad. Do I have this is gonna make me look like an idiot. Okay.
Yes, that's the best part.
Yeah, let's make it real, right? People's Bachelor as much as I can be. All right. My buddies, when I was in college, senior year, I think it was,
Yeah.
which I hate admitting how old I was when this happened.
No, this is great. We have a
well,
very supportive community here, and we're going to make you feel better about
Okay,
this.
I had a very good time. Was
Okay.
out drinking, you
Yeah.
know, just usual college day.
Yeah.
My usual MO when I have a good time is I found my way back to a 7-Eleven to order a 7-Eleven pizza. Disgusting, I know, but it was an
I
MO for me in
actually
college.
Feel this.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a you know, like a frozen pizza,
Delicious.
just a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Had the urge to pee.
Okay. Oh, no.
Did not handle that well apparently because I was not in the right mindset, and
Okay.
my friends that were behind me because I was running ahead to get my 7-Eleven pizza
Yeah.
saw me walk into 7-Eleven, but when they walked in I was no longer there, and they were like, where'd this guy go? And there's like, I don't know, but he already paid for the pizza, so here it is. Hand him the pizza, and my buddies walk outside, and I'm on the alley like holding on to the 7-Eleven thinking that my pants were down, but they were not.
Oh! I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's okay. A little public urination. That's
Public-
okay.
Yeah, but
the
not
pants
when the
were-
pants were still up. And I went home and ate the pizza.
And stayed in your pee pants.
Yeah, just for a little bit too long. So
Did you eventually take the pee pants off, or did you
of
sleep with the
course,
pee pants?
pee pants off, shower,
What?
all of it.
If
I'm
I
not
am,
disgusting.
If I'm
I
at
just
the
like my 7-Eleven
place
pizza, and I
where
peed my
I'm
pants before.
Pee my pants at 7-Eleven for a
Yeah.
pizza, I'm probably not showering and
Oh man, I
cleaning
can't
myself
believe
up.
you got me to talk about that one.
Oh, that's
It was the
okay.
poop your pants thing that brought it out.
I said you. There's no hesitation. You
No,
knew
because
exactly
you
what
want to think of
story
something
tell.
good.
That's
God,
good.
That was a bad time.
No, I've
Great
done it.
time actually.
I actually did that same thing as a grown woman. I was hammered and thought I had pulled my pants down, but I still had my underwear on, and I just peed on the toilet with my underwear on.
Yeah.
So
Forgot
you know
a
what?
step. Forgot a step.
Forgot a step.
Yeah.
That don't make us bad people.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It makes us relatable, right?
Yes.
Someone else has a story like that, I'm sure.
I thought you were gonna say you shit your pants. So
no,
really,
good thing that hasn't happened.
Yeah,
So
you're
we're
good.
still good on that one.
well, I'm excited to watch the rest of your season and see what happens because I do feel like this season's gonna be different.
Yeah, I think we got a good one on our hands. I'm excited to see it all come out.
I love it. Thank you for coming on the podcast. I'm really rooting for you and whatever happens.
Thank you so much for having me. I was excited to talk to you, and
Yeah.
I'm glad you're excited for the season.
I'm Kaitlyn Bristowe. Your session is now ending. And if I'm being honest, I wouldn't mind a rating and review.